about this video. What would it be like for your mom? It's bad for your dad, but let's talk about mom. If the police came to the door in the middle of the night and told them you were dead, or like you'll see in this next video, a doctor in the hospital tells them you're dead, your mom would never recover. I want you guys to think about the people you will leave behind if anything happens to you. You have the power to control that, to make good decisions as passengers and as drivers. Your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers would never, ever be the same. They would have a lifetime of mourning if anything happened to you, and you can protect them from that.
These are the shears I use to cut through your clothes. This is the table where I'll put your purse, your wallet, your jewelry, your phone. This is the clock where I'll mark the time. This is the bag I'll wrap around your body. And this is the room where I'll tell your mother you're dead. Put down the phone. Pay attention to the road.
In that conversation, she told me he only looked away for a few seconds. And I have to tell you, I was thinking about that and thinking about it, made me angry. My daughter's dead for just a few seconds. Other people are dead because someone else was never in a crash. They thought they could handle it. They thought they were a safe driver. I want you to think about each and every one of these excuses because there's thousands and thousands of dead kids attached to each and every one of these excuses. And if you don't put your phone on Do Not Disturb while driving, and you're looking at notifications, you are going to be trying to justify your conduct based upon this. Have you ever thought about any of these excuses? This next video asks you that question.
So should I just confess that I text and drive? If I get a text, I'll look at my phone. It's definitely texting.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Snapchat. I do Snapchat and drive sometimes.
Is that like making Snapchats or watching them?
Making them.
A, texting is like my main form of communication.
Boredom, honestly.
And B, well, I guess no, it's really just A.
I've only never done it at stoplights. I've always been really good about it.
The passenger has a pretty important role driving now, where they're like, oh, red light, red light.
If someone that you like texts you, you can't just let it sit there without just knowing what they said.
Because what if something exciting's happening or something happened?
Like every time I do it, I think about it, I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I just keep doing it.
So I'd want to introduce you to a friend of ours.
My name is JC.
Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Dash.
Justin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I just really quickly want to have a chat, tell you what happened to me. When I was 21 years old, driving home from my college graduation ceremony, driver on his phone was so distracted, he turned left into the intersection at a red light. Another car, an 18-wheeler, swerved to miss him and hit my family's car. And the resulting collision actually killed both of my parents. I spent 2 months in the hospital fighting for my own life, and then 2 more months in a rehab hospital, learning how to walk again, learning how to speak again, learning how to dress myself and how to feed myself. I live with a partially paralyzed body. I didn't have my daddy to walk me down the aisle when I got married.
Having sort of met JC, because you look at JC and sort of give those same reasons.
Usually I use my phone to change a song on. I try to use it as little as possible, but
I'm not gonna look at my phone ever again.
Honestly, if I have been sitting at a red light, I'll glance down to see if my mom's texting me, but the people's lives that are impacted from something that is so stupid.
I can assure you on my drive home right now, I'm not going to use my phone and drive, and I'm not going to do it when I go to work tomorrow and the next day after that until, it becomes a habit, and that just doesn't happen at all.
I know this is hard. I'm sorry. It's hard for me too, but this is real. You have the power to really actually make a difference and do something about it.